Tesla is on the road to delivering and producing 1 million cars in 2021. Let's talk about roughly how they can get it done. So as everyone knows by now, this is how Tesla did in Q1. 0 S and X production, but we got roughly 180,000 produced for 3 and Y, 2,000 S and X delivered, and roughly 183,000 3 and Y delivered for a total of 184,800 cumulative deliveries. That is, of course, 18% of the 1 million car goal. I was personally blown away, as many others were, by the production and deliveries in Q1. I was very surprised to see Q1 be even stronger than Q4 for really the first time ever for Tesla, but of course not completely unexpected, as production ramping should not be affected by seasonality. But regardless, hopping over to Q2 with the addition of Model S and X production, considering they've spent a whole quarter, Q1, figuring out how to do that, I think they could pretty easily ramp to 15,000 units, and I'm expecting 3 and Y production to follow a similar growth rate, hitting about 205 units produced. That would be a total of 220,000 cars produced for the quarter, which would be 40% of the targeted 1 million cars produced for 2021. And hopping down to the deliveries for the quarter, I pretty much kept it all the same. That's why I have them in italics. 15,000 may be a little aggressive, but I think Tesla can do it. The demand is definitely there, and they spent a whole quarter retooling everything, and I think they should be ready to go full out for production of the S and the X, and subsequently deliver those cars at a rapid pace. And 3 and the Y, again, they should have no problem making all of those deliveries. So that would be, on the year, cumulative deliveries of 405 roughly thousand cars delivered. So you can see at this point a very good start to the year if they were able to pull this off, but they would still have 60% to go. So where are they going to get that from in the last 2 quarters of 2021? Well, to aid in this fight, we are going to have Giga Berlin and Giga Texas coming online. I'm more expecting Giga Berlin to help out a little bit in Q3 and Q4, while maybe Giga Texas will be just in Q4 of 2021. But here we are. I think Model S and X will continue to ramp to 20,000 units. 3 and Y, I think 240,000 isn't out of the question. That would be the growth rate continuing. Maybe Berlin helps out a little bit, is able to bump that even higher. I don't know. But with both of those figures, we get production to 66% of the goal for the year. Hopping down to deliveries, 20,000 deliveries and 240,000 for 3 and Y. And if you're thinking that these S and X production figures are too good to be true, take a look at Hyperchart's history for this. S and the X have been all over the place, anywhere between 18,000, 20,000, 22,000, and up to 28,000 pretty much for a single quarter. So I think Tesla should have no problem with 15,000 cars in Q2, 20,000 in Q3, and we'll see what I put down for Q4 in just a second. At this point, the cumulative total is 664,800 cars delivered, so that's 66%. So where is Tesla going to get the final 34%? Well, it starts with 25,000 Model S and X produced for Q4. That would be with the Plaid Plus coming online, hopefully. I think they can really ramp Model S and X production. At this point, that should not be a problem, and they're going to be making so much money on these vehicles. But when talking about how Tesla can get this done, how they can produce and deliver 1 million cars in 2021, it really comes down to one cell on this spreadsheet, and that is 3 and Y production in Q4 of 2021. What I have here is a massive number to get that 1 million car figure to work. Now, I think it's possible if Giga Berlin, Austin, Fremont, and Shanghai are pumping cars as fast as they can. But 315,000 would be necessary to complete the spreadsheet here. That would be 340,000 cars in one quarter, Q4, to bring the total to 100% of our goal, Elon's goal, I should say. The question would then be if they could actually deliver this many vehicles, and I think they could at this point. But there you'd have it, 1,338 cars produced and 1,004,800 cars delivered, roughly speaking. So what do you think? Is this possible? Is this realistic? What am I missing in my model here? I think the S and the X production we can expect to spike in Q2 and continue growing through Q3 and Q4 as they introduce more variants, such as the Plaid Plus, and those should be selling very well. I think the demand for them is very high. Tesla really has been reluctant to do anything with the S and the X in the past few years, so I think there's certainly a lot of people wanting to get into new Model S and X high-end luxury Tesla vehicles. So then it really comes down to what I was saying, 3 and the Y production, and we got a fireworks show from them in Q1. So I think they continue the growth trend and growth rate, and you've got a 205,000 figure for Q2. Do that again, you've got a 240,000 figure for Q3. Get Giga Berlin and Giga Texas online. Again, not doing anything crazy, but I think you could get 315,000 cars for 3 and Y in 1 quarter and deliver 1 million cars in 1 year. That would be amazing, and I think send the stock to a corresponding $1,000 per share in 2021. That's my target at least. Again, very little of this is guaranteed. It's going to be a real stretch for Tesla, just as getting to 500,000 cars last year was despite the pandemic. Until next time.